Hi everyone, this is Angelica. Welcome to That Disney Feeling. In our last video, we discussed all of the movies and shows that have attractions or shows represented at Disneyland in case you or your kids want to watch some or all of them before your next trip. You'll find a link to that video at the top of your screen. Today we'll be going through a list for Disney California Adventure. As with the Disneyland video, I'll be focusing on movies and TV series associated with attractions and shows. I won't cover movies associated with restaurants, food, or characters you can meet in the parks or see walking around because those can vary too much. Also, use your discretion with your kids to know what's appropriate for them to watch at their age. Okay, so going alphabetically again like we did with Disneyland, we will begin with two rides in Avengers Campus. There's Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, and there's Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. Those rides are both inspired by the movies, although not based specifically on any particular movie plot. The Spider-Man featured in Avengers Campus is the MCU version played by Tom Holland. Moving on to Cars Land, which is obviously completely inspired by the movies, there are three rides: Radiator Springs Racers, Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, and Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. In the queue for Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, you're going to see a lot of references to some shorts that were all about Mater. They're called Cars Toons, Mater's Tall Tales. So that's really fun, and if you watch the shorts with your little ones, I'm sure they'll love seeing all the references in the queue. Heading over to Grizzly Peak, the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail has some light Brother Bear theming. As of the time of this video, this attraction is under an extensive refurb. I don't know if they're going to do anything to the theme. I haven't heard anything either way, but I thought I'd put that in here in case they do. They occasionally use this area for meet and greets as well. I don't know everyone who's been part of the meet and greets, but I know Russell and Doug from Up and Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon have been here. If we leave Grizzly Peak and head over to Hollywoodland, there's Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, which is obviously based on Monsters Inc., the original movie. And then there are a few shows. There's Turtle Talk with Crush, which is inspired by Finding Nemo. And then if you go see Mickey's PhilharMagic, which is also a show, the movies represented in that one are Beauty and the Beast, Fantasia, The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, Coco, Peter Pan, and Aladdin. Hollywoodland also features the Disney Junior Dance Party, which is a great show for little kids and contains characters from Disney Junior TV programs like the Mickey Mouse Roadster Racers, Vampirina, and Doc McStuffins. Moving across the park to Paradise Gardens Park, we have Goofy's Sky Skull, which is actually based on a 1940s short called Goofy's Glider. Down the path from that, we have The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure, which is obviously based on The Little Mermaid. And actually, the jumping jellyfish is also technically based on The Little Mermaid as well, although you don't really see any references to the movie on the ride. But in the movie, when Sebastian sees the fireworks, he says, "Jumping jellyfish," so that's where that's from. And it's also right outside the Little Mermaid ride. Then we move across the bay to Pixar Pier for the rest of our rides, which are all based on Pixar movies. We have Toy Story Midway Mania and Jesse's Critter Carousel, which are both based off Toy Story. And we have the Incredicoaster, which is based on the Incredibles film franchise. I think it's more based on Incredibles 2 because Jack is discovering his powers and they're trying to catch him after he escapes. Also, the ride reopened after it was rethemed from California Screaming about a month after the Incredibles 2 movie was released. Anyway, further down the pier is Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, based off Inside Out, and the Silly Symphony Swings. There were a whole bunch of Silly Symphony shorts, but the name is actually based on the band concert short film, which was not part of the Silly Symphonies film series. And then we have the Pixar Pal-Around. There are a bunch of Pixar characters, and they come in pairs, who are pals, but they're on opposite sides of the Ferris wheel from each other. This one was hard for me because I didn't study all of the characters the last time I was there, and the most recent video I could find on it was from Provost Park Pass, and it's from 2 years ago. So I'm going to tell you the characters that he came up with in his video, but I know that they've changed some since then. The list that he came up with was Nemo and Dory from Finding Nemo, Woody and Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, Flick and Heimlich from A Bug's Life, Miguel and Hector from Coco, Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater from Cars, Wall-E and Eve from Wall-E, Merida and her brothers as the bears, Harris, Hubert, and Hamish from Brave, Emile and Remy from Ratatouille, Doug and Russell from Up, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible from The Incredibles, and finally Sadness and Joy from Inside Out. Now since then, I'm pretty sure there's Ian and Barley from Onward. There's probably Luca and Alberto from Luca, so I don't know who they've replaced or if there's any other characters, but if you know, please let me know in the comments below. And finally, on the pier are some games. They're called the Games of Pixar Pier, so they're technically not rides. They're just some midway games that you can play for extra money at Pixar Pier. The games and the movies or shorts that are represented are La Luna Starcatcher, which is from the La Luna Pixar short, Heimlich's Candy Corn Toss from A Bug's Life, WALL-E Space Race from WALL-E, and Bullseye Stallion Stampede from Toy Story. Also at DCA is the nighttime show World of Color 1. I took notes on the movies included in the spring 2024 shows. I'm not sure if there were other versions in 2023 or if I missed any characters, because it's a bit hard to see the projection sometimes. But the main movies that were included are Pocahontas, Encanto, Ratatouille, Soul, Coco, Star Wars, Lion King, Mulan, Moana, and Avengers Endgame. As for the park as a whole, it's evident that several entire lands are based on movies or shows. Avengers Campus is based off the movies in the MCU. Cars Land is based off the movie franchise. San Francisco doesn't have any rides. It's a glorified food court, but it is based on the Big Hero 6 movie, and you can meet Hero and Baymax there. The theming is pretty cool, and it has a neat vibe, especially at nighttime. So that's the list that I've come up with of the movies and shows that are currently represented at DCA. I have a printable that you can use as well if you want to check things off. Just click the link in the description. That's all for today. If you're planning any upcoming Disneyland trips and have any questions or topics that you'd like me to cover in future videos, feel free to share them in the comments below. Your input matters. Thanks for spending time with me, and I wish you a truly magical day. And hey, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel.